So warm greetings and welcome to this meditation session. And as an introduction to the meditation, I mentioned that the theme for this week is equanimity, particularly the kind of love that has a quality of equanimity in it. But in talking about equanimity, one of the things that we can lose equanimity around is if we're operating too much from conceit, too much from holding on to some fixed idea of who we are, who we should be, or who we shouldn't be. There's something about that hardness or that grasping to that, those conceit, that makes us easily agitated, easily restless, easily reactive to what's going on. And that one of the movements in Buddhist meditation is called lowering the flag of conceit. And this ancient metaphor of likening conceit with a flag that's held up high, I believe it's a little bit of a war metaphor that maybe it's like capture the flag. If one person is holding the flag, then the other team will be really trying to get that person, or get to that person. But if they put the flag down, then they don't care so much about that person. So if you're holding up the war banner for your army, then the other army is going to go after you, perhaps. Maybe a less warlike metaphor is that of an open window, that if you throw the baseball through a closed window, the window will break. But if the window's open, the ball just goes right through. And so to lower the flag, to not have something that can be attacked within, to not have something that is struck by the words and actions that people have towards us, to have like an open window and things just go right through. They don't land anywhere or strike anything within. And in particular, what that is the absence of conceit, the absence of self-preoccupation and self-definition. And there's a lot more equanimity then, and things will just go right by. Kind of like yesterday's metaphor of the boat, and just the water just washes off the hull of the boat and is kind of left behind. So to sit and meditate without conceit, to sit and meditate without with the windows wide open, where nothing can land anywhere, it doesn't strike anywhere. A thought, a feeling, all kinds of things might arise, but let it arise and go. Let it wash right by. Imagine yourself just an open window with vast space in front and vast space behind, and things just pass right through, and then the mind, the heart, can be at ease, can be equanimous with what arises and passes. So to take a meditation posture, and a posture that hopefully will allow you to feel, recognize, some part of you is alert, some part of you has a certain energy of presence, engagement. In some way, it kind of means be careful you're not too comfortable, but also be careful you're not too uncomfortable. I think kind of an ideal would be that happy middle way, where we're no longer concerned with any discomfort and no longer involved with any comfort. We're just here, unconcerned with comfort or discomfort. but alert, present. And to gently close your eyes. And taking a deep breath, gently settling your heart. As you exhale, settling the upward activated energy that, if you have that, in your body, in your heart, so that your sense of energy in the body or sense of activation in your body settles down and allows you to your whole system to come to rest on the foundation of your lower torso. Feeling the lower torso if you're sitting. If you're lying down, feel your rib cage, not your back rib cage and your spine if you're on your back. The place that receives the weight of your body. As you exhale, let go into that. Relax into that. Taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. And then to soften the shoulders, the belly. Release yourself to the pull of gravity while sitting upright. Letting your breathing return to normal. And on the exhale, continue the process of relaxing both the surface of surface of your body and also deep inside, as deep as you can feel or sense where there's holding or activation. And if you feel some tension, activation that doesn't relax, that's okay. Soften around it. Soften the muscles of your face. And soften your eyes. Maybe letting the eyes, in a sense, look backwards and down, if that is more restful. No need to be looking at anything. And notice any tension or activation, pressure in the area of your brain. Forehead, temples, sides of your skull, inside your skull. And for a few breaths, breathe with that activation, that tension. And then see if you can relax the brain, that whole area, the thinking muscle. Giving your brain, your thinking, a rest from trying and doing, making something happen. Always thinking so much. And then really now becoming aware again of the body breathing. In a sense, having your awareness join the rhythm of breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Imagine that as you breathe, all the rest of you is like a big window that opens as you breathe. An open window through which the rhythm of breathing in and breathing out flows. And with the help of your breathing, maybe as if breathing is the window with well lubricated hinges that just opens easily, stays open. That whatever arises, instead of it hitting anything or being a concern or something to react to or be involved in, imagine that it just travels through the open window of your being with vast space in front of you, vast space behind you, vast space above you and below you, and you an open window. Things just pass through. No need to be involved or react, judge, compare. No need to relate it to conceit or self or me, myself, and mine. Whatever occurs does not need to be taken personally. It's just something that passes through the vast window, open window of awareness. If you find yourself caught in some concern or preoccupation, see if you can open your window really wide. Create a wide open, vast space of awareness. Just allows whatever's happening to continue to just pass by, flow by, without touching anything, without disturbing anything, without it hitting anything within you. It's just phenomena that appears and comes and goes. It doesn't touch anything that makes it personal. No definition, no involvement. And your job is keep the window open, vast open awareness through which phenomena travel. with a vast open awareness, the open window. Keeping the window, keeping your awareness open is a vast space that things can just travel through. Open that window widely, wider, to include the people in your life. And see if you can just keep the window open. So there's love and care and friendliness, but without the stories, the ideas, the responsibilities with those people. Landing anywhere, just let it pass through the vast field of awareness and love. And opening more widely to include the people of your communities, of your lands, of your continent, and the world. And what is the quality of your goodwill, love, care, compassion? If you settle back and allow the love, the care, to be like a vast open window, with no going forward, no going back, no closing down, just a field of care. Nothing to do, nothing to be. Nothing in the field do you need to use to define yourself or prove yourself, defend yourself. Just vast, peaceful, equanimous goodwill. Perhaps a way of being that you'd wish on others. May others also feel safe enough, open enough, wise enough to rest in their capacity for vast love, goodwill, compassion and care. May they be happy enough and safe enough to rest in this vast field of love without needing to prove themselves, defend themselves, assert themselves. May the people I know experience this wonderful, happy way of being. And wishing it for others, remembering to wish it for yourself. Give yourself the gift, a vast, open window of care and love, goodwill, that doesn't automatically need to do anything or prove anything, defend anything, be anything. Just an open window. And may it be that we learn how to abide this way so we can share it with others. So we can meet each other together in this space. So that when we wish people happiness and safety, health, and freedom, we kind of have a deep reference point for how full and complete that can be. From our open window of goodwill, to whatever degree we have it, to express, to evoke the wish May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe and healthy. May all beings be free of suffering. May all beings live together, sharing this wonderful capacity we have for open, liberated love. So open is the window. The frames of the window disappear. So the topic on this fourth talk on equanimity, Brahmavihara, is that of the relationship between this equanimity, this kind of love or care, goodwill, that is non-reactive or non-contracted, non-agitated, or in the classic language, isn't automatically involved in pursuing or being attracted to things, chasing things, or isn't automatically involved in repulsion or pushing away or pulling away. But a mind that's able to be present and open to what's happening in the world and to maintain its goodwill, its friendliness, its love, or its care, in spite of the dangers in the world. And now we're coming into maybe where the wisdom and practice really comes to a kind of maturity. It's easy enough to have some idea of that we're supposed to be loving and everything is wonderful and practice is just accept things as they are and for that to be kind of a pastoral image of life, a kind of idea that everything is wonderful and good, and sometimes when there's a lot of teaching, Buddhist teachings about just sitting in with awareness, accepting things as they are, being open to how things are, and non-reactive, I do feel that sometimes it's teachings of people who are relatively privileged and well off and don't have a lot of challenges in their life that many people in this world have. Many people live in danger zones of all kinds, in their families, in their communities, in their countries, and there are dangers in this world. So how do we maintain a loving heart, a caring heart, in the face of dangers? So that's one of the important topics. And perhaps it's a nice way of also coming to the end of 2020, where a year ago many of us did not see the dangers that were going to come for this year. And a surprising amount of danger, even fear, that now exists in our society that didn't exist a year ago, or maybe caution at least. I mean, it's remarkable that to walk down the street and people will avoid each other. I'll step out into the street and let someone else have the sidewalk. Someone else will step out in the street and let me have the sidewalk, even though everyone's wearing masks. And who would have thought? I mean, it's kind of like living in a science fiction movie or something. It's such a radical kind of change in our society. And so how can we be wiser with this? How can we be equanimous with this in a wise way, an appropriate way? And how can we learn from 2020 so that we enter into 2021 with more wisdom, with more street smarts, with more equanimity and more love and compassion, given what happened during the course of this year, how we learned, how we matured with all the challenges we've had. So I say all this because in the ancient texts, a book called The Path of Purification, where they talk about the near enemy of equanimity, Brahmavihara, it's the near enemy, what looks like it, and it's not really equanimity, but it looks like it, is the equanimity, it's called ignorant equanimity. And it's equanimity that's ignorant of the dangers in the world. So it's easy to be equanimous if one doesn't see the dangers, doesn't understand what's going on in this life. And so here it says, the near enemy is the ignorant equanimity that is not aware of danger. The far enemy is greed and repulsion. It is not possible to have either greed or repulsion and equanimity. But this near enemy that doesn't really allow true equanimity to be there is not aware of danger. And I don't think we hear very often in Buddhist teachings like sit down, close your eyes, be aware, be in the present moment, and now become aware of danger. That there is danger in this life. Life is fragile. Life is short. They say even with 100 years life, it's a short life. And life is it's easy to get sick. There are people who are not good people, and go in the wrong places, the wrong times, and it is dangerous. We live in a world of danger where our lives can change forever on a dime, in a very quick. I've known plenty of people, and myself involved also, where some accident happens, and then we're never quite the same again, and we didn't anticipate the danger that would come. So this is not meant to be a depressing way to end 2020, but it is the classic way of appreciating that true equanimity also understands that the world has dangers and learns to develop the strength, the capacity, or the openness and the wisdom of how to be equanimous and loving in the face of danger, with danger. And without that message, it's easy to kind of think that we're supposed to just live in a protected an environment, live in a monastery or someplace where we're completely safe, so we can do this work of just being completely non-attached, unfazed by what goes on in the world. But I hope that that's not what we're doing. I hope we're learning how to live in the world as it is, with its dangers, and learning to be loving in a way that doesn't succumb to repulsion and pursuit or actively kind of going after things, or actively pulling away automatically going to help when help is not really needed, trying to fix, automatically trying to push away or deny what's there. And in some ways, this is it's said that equanimity is one of the most mature and developed forms of Buddhist practice. It comes after many years of practice to really have this strong sense of equanimity. So it's kind of like the North Star, but it definitely doesn't make us indifferent. In fact, sometimes here in the West, people often say that the near enemy of equanimity is indifference. And it's certainly not an indifference. It involves a deep caring, a deep love. And in having it, to have an open window, to not hold on to something that can be hit and can be hurt. And a different analogy for this is that if we hold our hands in a fist, then something can hit it and it can hurt because it's maybe doesn't move very well. But if we open our hands up wide and the fingers wide, then things can hit, but they we kind of, like a bamboo, flows with the wind, back and forth. Or maybe it just goes right through the fingers, the open fingers, and doesn't really touch us. And so we go in the world very differently if we're fisted up and knotted up in something than if we go with an open hand, an open heart. And so this ability to not have attachments, not have clinging, not have self-definitions we hold on to for dear life, but to just relax the heart, relax the mind, open the clinging, and in that be able to be present for danger. Because then actually we're in less danger in our hearts. We might be in physical danger, but the heart is never in danger if the heart doesn't cling. Because there is one way that, one kind of implication of Buddhist teachings, is that the greatest danger that we live with, is a danger we provide ourselves. The danger of clinging, the danger of giving up our ethical life, the danger of giving up our ease, our peace, the danger of giving up our love and our freedom, which we do if we cling and get attached. There is no intentional and ethical life without clinging. There is no intentional, intentional is maybe a stronger word, the deepest well-being of the heart is not lost because of what people do and the world does around us. It's lost because of how we react and respond to that. And so to realize that there's danger here too, and as we practice, to learn how to really, this idea of staying open, an open window, is partly so we're protected from ourselves. And then we're much more protected in the heart from the dangers of the world. Things might still happen to us, but they don't run into this, tight fist of the heart or in the mind that things are hard and difficult. So to discover the form of love called equanimity, the flavor of loving, equanimous love, that is able to be equanimous and loving in the face of danger. So this is a tall order. It's not an easy thing to discover how to do. But today, you might spend time reflecting on this. And maybe you wouldn't be served very well by arguing against what I'm saying. Maybe there's arguments to make against it. But maybe you're better served yourself by exploring and experimenting with this idea, is how can you stay loving, caring, friendly in the face of what you might think is dangerous. And don't put yourself in danger, please. Please take care of yourself. But maybe you can explore this and ride the edges of it. And maybe there are dangers that you think that you're worried about that maybe aren't as dangerous as you think, as you open up and no longer have anything knotted up inside. Maybe talk to friends about this and explore this topic of having equanimous goodwill in the face of danger. And so it seems like a wonderful way of learning from this last year and reflecting on this last year and becoming better people because of this last year, and not being the victim of last year's, but really building and preparing for how to go into the next year, 2021, and wiser, more caring, more loving, more mindful, and more for the benefit of the world. So I look forward to seeing maybe many of you tomorrow morning if you're up early enough, and we'll welcome in the new year with the last reflections on equanimity. Thank you.